Hey guys, welcome back to the Conservative Patriot. My name's Keith. I wanted to give my thoughts today on President Trump's reaction to the two mass shootings the other day in El Paso and in Dayton, Ohio. And if you see me look down, it's because I took notes so I can kind of keep on track here. But I wanted to highlight some of the key things that he said that I thought were important for everybody to know. And when you're watching the news, I know that I watch Fox News, but then I also flip around and kind of get different perspectives until I get ticked off and can't take it anymore. And how, when they start spewing bullshit. So I just wanted to put some bullet points together and get them out to you guys and let you guys get back to me with your thoughts. So the first thing, and this is important in any kind of situation like this, and he always thanks EMS and law enforcement. Not one time did I hear any of the Democrats thank the EMS and law enforcement. Not once. Not one time. I might have missed it. Maybe somebody did, but I did not hear them thank EMS and law enforcement. They immediately went to the blame game without thanking anybody. Very first thing, and this should shut everybody up, but it's not going to, because it's the Democrats' thinking process. But he called on everybody to denounce racism, bigotry, and white supremacy. In like the very first minute and a half of his 10-minute talk today, that's what he did. Did the Democrats do that? No. They say, oh, well, he is a racist, or the Republicans and conservatives are racist, that's why this happened. No, not at all. He's denouncing it. 3, racism, bigotry, and white supremacy. And then another point, he went on to talk about how the internet and social media are a dangerous place, and in this day and age where you can kind of go online and hide behind your keyboard and watch all this information all at once. And some people who are easily manipulated, or they're in a place in their life where they just kind of absorb anything that's negative and kind of takes a hold of them, and they run with it. That's what we need to watch out for. And President Trump is calling on the internet companies and social media companies to help develop tools to identify people with these these posts or whatever that might trigger something like these mass shootings to happen. So he's calling on those companies to help out develop tools to do that. Again, he calls on everybody to act as one people. No bipartisanship, no divisions, and act as a bipartisans in Congress. That's how you're supposed to do it. We're supposed to act as Americans, because that's who we are. We come together. We're the strongest that we can be. I'm sorry, I'm itchy. There's all kinds of bugs flying around. We're the strongest we can be when we're together. Look at any kind of horrific event that has happened in this country. Let me just go back to Pearl Harbor. We came together as a people. After 9/11, we came together as a people, but it just kind of fades fast, and then the division comes back again. We are united, and we need to stay strong, because that's when we are at our best. He also kind of brings up really briefly the gruesome nature of a lot of the video games that are going on, where they dehumanize people, and kids are sitting behind their PlayStations, and they're just like firing all these kinds of weapons off at people, and they're killing them, but in their minds it's just a game. They're just playing a game, and sometimes that game translates into real life, and that's where the dehumanization comes into play. And that also, I agree with him, that needs to kind of get regulated more and monitor more closely. I remember when I was a kid, the games they were so calm. They were so mellow. I mean, we played Zelda and Mario Brothers, and everything was like a race car game or something. There weren't really any like Call of Duty kind of games or Fortnite games where you're actually in competition with real people to kill them. It's very peculiar, and again, I agree with him on that one. He brings up reforming mental health laws and getting people better treatment quicker before something like this happens. He also this is a quote from him, which I think is spot on, and it goes right to the Second Amendment and right to our right to bear arms. He says, and I quote, "Mental illness and hatred pulls the trigger, not the gun." So again, it is not a gun that is doing the harm. It is the person behind the gun. And that's where the Democrats get this all wrong. They think it's the physical object that is going to somehow pull its own trigger and create harm, which is not the case. And the last thing, which I kind of touched on yesterday, when I talked about how they should have just shot the shooter in El Paso, because now we're going to have to pay for his however long prison stay. And President Trump brought up today that he's going to try to put into law that if you do a hate crime or an act of domestic terrorism, it's instantly the death penalty no matter what the state law is on capital punishment, and it should be swift. No sitting in jail for years to come while you're waiting for your death sentence to happen. Like I said yesterday, that just costs all of us a lot of money, and it causes the victims' families all that turmoil, and they don't have any closure because that person that did that harm is still alive and sitting there waiting to die. So I completely agree with that. I mean, I am a strong proponent of capital punishment. If I were in Roman times, I would definitely believe in the eye for an eye sentiment. But that's what I have today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think that President Trump's 10-minute reaction to the shootings was spot on. I know there's people all online going, "Oh, he said Toledo at the end of it instead of Dayton." Well, you know what? We're all human. We make mistakes. He was reading off a teleprompter. It could have been written in as Toledo at the very end. At the very beginning, he did say Dayton. He said Toledo. I think Vice President Biden said Michigan, of all places. So everybody makes mistakes. It's not easy to get up there and talk, and especially if this is written on a teleprompter. It could have been missed. Anyways, that's what I have today. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon for notifications of when I put a new video up, and always remember to stay on the right. Have a great night.